rolling. All right. Truck chats. Volume.
Dude, no idea.
You Blake could just put it. Volume, whatever. All right. So, heading to the URC to do intro to carbine mechanics, intro to pistol pins. We got Ryan, Dancing with the Stars. Badass dude. We got John. Yeah, John. What's your background? What's your bio, John?
Basic dude, living life, and
All right, then we got Braden.
How's it going?
We got Braden, tactical cowboy mentor guy. Awesome. So, all right, let's get this going. So, on the other truck chats, we were talking about, fighting off animals. I had to fight off this rabbit, 150-pound Malamute at the dog park.
Really?
Me and Blake were talking about this. This one hasn't been released
When
yet.
was this?
What was that, a month ago, Blake?
Maybe more.
Maybe a month and a half ago. I don't remember what class we were coming down for. But either way, it was pretty exciting.
Wow.
So, and then I've had this conversation with other guys, so we're just going to start you guys off fresh. So let's see. What would be sort of the most ferocious dog, canine you could think of? Probably like a Malinois or a German Shepherd or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you guys say?
German. Well, yeah.
One of those two.
One of those two.
So,
Well trained.
well trained. So, what would you say, like a Malinois, Maligator, guys would call it? Do you think you could, life or death? Could it take?
Oh
you?
yeah.
Could it take you?
No, I take it.
Nice.
You know
Okay.
you know what you do.
Hold
right?
on. Okay, so you think you could take it, whether you actually would or not? I
Yeah.
mean, who knows, right? Different
Yeah.
circumstances. So there's no right or wrong answer. So, John, do you think you could take a badass Malinois, like mono y mono, life or death?
yeah. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, we got opposable thumbs, right? So we got to have some kind
So
of,
I would hope so.
I would expect. I'd go into it expecting to.
Okay,
I mean,
nice. All right, what about you, Braden?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh, okay,
And-
absolutely.
And if I didn't, it's not my problem anymore. So.
All right, so what do you guys think? What was the next level, Blake?
Seems like we went
Mountain lion.
Mountain Lion. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, Ryan? Could you take one?
I can take mountain lion. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
nice. John?
I just took out a Malamute. I think I'll probably be all right with mountain lion.
What'd you say?
If we just took out the Malamute, then sure, mountain lion,
Okay,
little step up, but we got that.
okay, Bree.
So this is completely suspecting, or is it ambushing me? And I've already.
That's a fair question.
Let's just say it's like gladiator type stuff, but you
Ooh,
don't have. There's
one-on-one.
no weapons. Just
Ooh, bare hands.
They're weapons. Who left the house when they had the
I
pocket?
can't use a rock. Can't pick a rock up.
Whatever's around you.
No, I mean no rocks nearby. I don't know.
Ah, shit.
There's
I
a
mean-
guy who took out a mountain lion, right? This
Hold
is
on.
a true story.
Yeah.
Sure
yeah.
there is.
So what's your answer, Braden?
I'm gonna say yeah.
It's a short one.
Ooh, okay.
That's starting to get up there though when you.
Yep.
start
All right.
talking
Last
about
one,
it.
bear.
I would not. I'm hardline. I'm not going to take on a bear.
No. It's not that. Are you gonna volunteer?
It's already attacking you.
Yeah. It's game
I'll
on.
have no choice.
Are you gonna come out on top or not? What's your expectation?
My expectation is that I will. Whether that happens or
Okay.
not,
Okay.
but my expectation, I'm going to fight
Okay.
till the death.
John.
The bear, I think I'm gonna say yes to the bear just because they've got a pretty short attention span. I think I'm gonna say yeah. I think we bore the bear with still staying alive long enough that it goes away. They don't really just kill things in anyway. So maybe I know
Okay.
too much about bears.
Braden.
Make it out alive. I think I could, but
Yeah.
killing it, fuck no. Not with
Oh yeah, I
hands.
guess maybe
Not
not
with
allowed
hands.
to roll with
Right.
all of them. either,
That's
right?
not happening.
Okay, so I asked that question just because I think it's an interesting thing to hit on your mindset, right? So I've had plenty of guys that I've met that would be like, like a Rottweiler or something. They'd be like, oh man, oh, could you take one? Oh no, those are powerful animals. And whether you could take it or not, you got to have the mindset to believe that you could, right? So I'm really happy everybody said that, yes, because that would have been kind of embarrassing. Then I say,
If you go into a fight defeated, you're defeated.
exactly. Nice. Well, should we start off the class with that?
Yeah. That's good.
And then people that say
Acid.
like, oh, I don't know, like, bounce. Sorry, bro, this isn't the place for you. No, we wouldn't do that. We'd be like, we gotta work on your mindset.
Fundamentals, maybe you can come out. Maybe you start with a poodle. The fundamentals classes. Maybe you conquered that poodle at the dog park.
Really,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
mad
yeah.
Chihuahua.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
me,
right.
me and
Some
Coda,
little ankle biter.
me and Coda we did a 1.5 mile run to the dog park, and we get there, there's only like one other dog. This old lady, like a big 150-pound Malamute, thing was a beast. Anyways, it went like, because it was 6 months old and it hadn't been neutered, and Coda hasn't been neutered because I don't know. I believe in not neutering the dogs because then, I mean, think about a human that gets neutered if it was 6 months old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No tea, it's just not going to develop and it's going to get all fat and weak, right? So like Coda's so fit and jacked, everybody comments on it. It's like, yeah, it's because he has testosterone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, we get there. That dog had a problem with Coda and went like hardcore attack.
Wow.
So I had to like pin it on the ground, and it like bit me in the inner thigh, like I was actually bleeding,
Oh my gosh.
and on the hand. But yeah, then me and Blake were talking about like fitness and like just got in from a 1.5 mile run, like gassed. Oh shit, now I gotta handle this animal and just kind of stuff like, you know, do you think you could take that? I think it's good to like a mindset check.
You know what you're supposed to do, right?
What's up? Yeah, go ahead.
So you put out your foot, so it bites your foot. You step on its jaw, and then you step on its neck, and it's done.
Well, I wasn't trying to kill the thing.
I love dogs. I'm not advocating killing dogs.
Jeez, Ryan.
I'm just saying, if you're in a situation where this dog is going to kill you and you have to
Okay.
put it down to survive, that is the technique.
Okay.
You let it bite your foot, and then you can step on its jaw. It
Interesting.
won't let go, and then you step on its neck. I know it's pretty graphic.
Okay. Yeah, but Blake, we need to cut this out. So it's like how to defend yourself from
Only
Dog.
one of the many reasons the Lord gave us 2 feet, right?
Exactly.
You sacrifice one to the dog and then
Did
step
you,
on something.
did you hear about the
other.
guy who choked out the cougar?
No.
Yeah, so there's this guy, I don't know if it was a mountain lion or whatever, but yeah, he choked it out. He got on its back because it was going to tear it to pieces, and somehow he got its back and choked it out.
Damn, that's a
Killed
good
it.
plug for jujitsu. Yeah, do jujitsu, brother. Interesting.
Bear, I don't know. Like, what do you do? What do you do for the bear?
What's your tactic?
Yeah. How do you get out of that situation?
I'm obviously gonna say fight, right? But then, yeah, well, how do you fight? How do you fight?
I mean, they say get big and loud, right?
Yeah, but once you're actually fighting, how do you fight?
Right. How do you fight?
I'm not sure. You know, obviously eye gouging could be the technique, but that's not gonna kill a bear.
Could you get well, depending on the size of the bear, could you get your arms around its neck? Would that even do anything?
Yeah, usually
If you're Hoist Gracie, maybe, you can stick it
yeah,
out.
if you're a badass like that. Oh, I don't know what the tactic is. We're gonna have to look into that. We're gonna have to get an expert on it. All right, so what kind of topics do we want to hit? Probably got 20 minutes till we get there. What do you got, Blake? Should we go through some of those I texted you?
Yeah,
Or
or you
save those?
keep on going with the LPVO stuff.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So as many of y'all know, we did, the about 7,000 rounds on the, the Hydra mount, the super tall mount with the EO tech and the red dot. We were shooting out to 400, 500, 600 with those consistently, and anything 300 and in was like awesome. Pretty much loved it. So now we're doing the flip side of the spectrum. We're going to do another 6 months, 6,000 rounds or so on a Vortex Razor with the red dot on top for night vision use. So yeah, we've been talking to LPVOs, and so far my review of it, probably 300 rounds in or so, is I'm really, really liking it. I'm really, really liking it. And I'm actually surprised at how fast those close range targets are. Like, I'm not having any issue. Guys say, oh, fast acquisition is too tough. With the LPVO, I haven't had any issues.
Do you ever raised up?
Yeah, Tommy's got it on a 173 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed when I raised mine up, that made a huge difference with my LPVO, my 1-6. Just putting on a riser, because that was the biggest thing is, you get to tactical turtle sometimes
Yeah.
with those, trying to get really low, but just being able to pull it straight up. And then for night vision, having that dot on top is like perfect because
Is
it's
it?
so
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, right now the dot is taller than the EOTech
Yeah.
on the Hydra. Like it's tall. So I don't know. I think it's gonna turn out well. I really like the LPVO, like we were talking about earlier, at distances. Like we had a client on the mountain and we were taking him up to 300 yards. And I was also kind of like playing with some, I was like one of the first days I had it. And it was like so easy to drop in the prone with that technique I was talking about, having the finger right here. Crank it up to like 8 to 10 and just nail the steel target at 300, no problem. And it's like, of course, like we did it with the EOTech, but there is something to be said for, I know I'm going to hit the target,
Yeah.
right? Because I can see, yep, the reticle's where it needs to be. Versus sometimes with the red dot, like, of course, you could still hit it and be super consistent to a degree, but knowing you're going to hit it is a little bit different. I don't know, though.
So what about, we were talking about reticles, and at that distance, I think you were saying that it'd been nice to have just a crosshair reticle.
Yeah. So I think at that distance, it would have been nice to have a really fine center aiming point. If the target was smaller, this was a C-zone steel, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, that is my complaint about the Razor is I would rather have, instead of the blob in the middle, I'd rather have a fine crosshair. But the EOTech Voodoo does provide that with certain reticle they offer. So I think that might be, then I can, have that EOTech reticle that I'm used to, right? With the LPVO on the 1X, because it's that first focal plane. And there is something to be said for target ID, right?
Yeah.
With having the capability to see out further.
I think that's one of the, obviously, if you can't identify your target, you shouldn't be shooting it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need somebody with an LPVO, I think, if you're, running in.
That's true.
But if you're a one-man show, it makes sense to me, right?
To run an
have
LPVO.
one, and then with the dot on top, just because you just have more options.
Yep, for sure. So what do you guys think about the dot on top versus the canted red dot in combination with the LPVO?
I like it on top for night
like
vision,
it on
for
top?
sure. For if you're running night vision, it's gotta be.
Yeah, I like it on top for sure. Night vision or not, honestly. Because when it's on top, I like, same shoulder position, same everything, blah, blah, blah. All you do is this. Versus if I do the cant, zeroing becomes a pain in the ass. Because like, okay, how do I replicate the same exact shoulder position? Pretty difficult.
Right.
And then not only trying to compare it to when you zero it, but over and over again with your reps. Is it the same? Is it the same? Is it the same? And then with the night vision, the canted red dot is, I would say it's just trash. Because now you have to try to scrunch your nods down to get low with it. Your nods are going to hit all your equipment and all that.
Well, also shooting in and out of vehicles or under vehicles, having it, just on top is way better than if you're canted on one side.
Oh, you can't even use
You
it.
can't even really use it.
That's true. Dang, that's a good point. Yeah, coming from a seasoned LPVO guy.
Since I'm always shooting in and out of vehicles underneath things, it's like what I do in my day job.
Right? Yeah.
It's funny about the LPVO being on top. No one really argues about that, but the GBRS mount, everyone argues about.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's the same height. There's literally like no difference. But you get up, you put it up on top of an LPVO. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. But you have a standalone mount, and then everyone's like, no, you can't do that. That's way too hard.
Damn.
Good point.
Yeah, I really like that Hydra mount though.
Let's be real though. People arguing about the Hydra mount. They're arguing about like spending the money on it.
That's
Like,
true.
I mean, they might have other things that they complain about, but they're really whining about that extra money that they're having to spend. That then they're having to put more money on top of a couple different places.
That's true.
Like that'll always come up in the comments. It's the cost.
But also, I don't think they've even tried it. Like everybody wants to have an opinion about something they haven't even tried.
Yeah.
Just because it's new, it's different. So everyone's like, no, that's not going to work. But then again, tried it. So I have a lot of respect for you because you're like, no, all right, let's run 7,000 rounds through this.
A lot of my mill buildies overseas were actually like that. They're like, it's unnecessary, it's stupid. But a lot of veterans it's very typical for veterans to get jealous of other veterans. Especially guys that they're super squared away, obviously. They know what they're talking about. And I was in the same boat. I was like, yeah, it's probably necessary because we're running passive aiming through red dots, normal, like not even raised at all, just regular height aim points. Too easy, no problem. But yeah, they can. I've seen a lot of jealousy in the veteran community. It's like, oh well, those guys, whatever, right? You see that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if law
Yeah.
enforcement is the same way. I'm sure it is.
Well, but the jealousy too, just because the guys who developed it are super squared away veterans who.
And they
Uh,
became successful
yeah,
off their background.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there is merit to it, right? Like, hey, the reason why they became successful about it is because they do have a stellar background and they do have some good input to give. Interesting. Yeah, controversial for sure. Yeah. Yeah, so what were some of those things I texted you, Blake?
Pull out the phone.
Yeah, pull that out. Unless you guys got another topic, you can just blur it out. Comps? What?
Comps on
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
a good one.
actually a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, comps on pistols. So I am a huge, I don't know if I'm against comps, but there could be something to be said for they could help induce malfunctions that wouldn't be there with a stock pistol, right?
Yeah.
There's something to be said there. One thing that me and Braden have been really hammering with people on the private sessions is the grip test is the first priority.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about in the self-defense CQB scenarios, you're probably not even going to get on your sight anyways. Now we're huge advocates of aiming with your sights, and that's 98% of the practice we do. But we start with the grip test because we want every single person to be able to fully handle their pistol. And I think most people do not push themselves to have full control of the pistol. So instead, they want to get a staccato, or they want to get a comp on their pistol, or they want to get $1,000, I don't know, whatever. Name your Glock that's decked out, or your the super heavy, whatever, the SIG. It doesn't even matter. Take your poison or an M&P, right? They want to get a $1,500 pistol instead of just truly learn how to control the pistol. Then once you get that key, you are the compensator, like I said to Austin.
Mhm.
So you could take anything. You could take a cheap Taurus and send it and shooting super flat controlled.
So I'm of the same mindset, but maybe a little bit more. So I'm pro comp because I'm
Yeah.
comps from a distance. But just like I'm not against comps, like I'm not against suppressors or even the Hydra mount. Like
yeah,
it is advancement, but where I do 100% agree is like I didn't get a comp for like 8 years. You know, I've trained for
Yeah.
years and years and years. So definitely you've got to get the fundamentals down. You got to get your grip down. And once you're squared away, then yeah, if you want to get a comp, you know, and then you got to test it because like you're saying with the failures and whatnot, you've got to know, because I've had comps that run fine with you know, the stock recoil spring, but then I've had others that I've had to, you know, get a different weighted spring so it works. You have to make sure you test it,
very true.
and just like all your gear,
Exactly.
like I've learned with my night vision,
Yeah.
with the operator course, you got to test it. So definitely have your grip down, have your basic skills squared away, and then, you know, you can start getting into that gear if you want.
For sure. But yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, not to say that I'm against using the best tool possible, you know, because then if you have all that solidified baseline and then you toss that on top, like my buddy Kaipo, he's got a, you know, one of those super decked out Glocks that's all aftermarket and it's got a comp and everything, and that thing can shoot super fast. But on the 5 rounds of the standard, I can still edge him out with a stock pistol. But I mean, so then I actually took his, and I was like, "Dang, this is crazy," because it's the reticle like barely moves. Yeah. Versus still with the stock for the standard, like 5 rounds as fast as possible. The dot moves from the center star usually to about the top of the circle. So if you have any lapse in grip, it's gonna rise a little bit too high.
Right. But that's still like really good. I think for most people, if you go and like maybe we can challenge people who watch this, like does your reticle leave, or does the dot leave the window? Does your dot leave the window
Yeah.
and shoot and come back?
Yeah.
Because if it does, you need to dial it in and try to keep it.
That's a cue I've been giving people actually for the red dots. And if we're shooting fast, is if the reticle's leaving the window, that's unsat. You need to grip harder. Maybe it's wrist tension, core tension, your actual grip on the gun, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Because I've even heard some like gun reviewers and even competition shooters talk about how, oh yeah, this gun is so much better with the comp on it because my dot doesn't leave the window when I shoot it.
Yeah, your dot should not leave the window.
Especially if you're a, squared away shooter.
Yeah.
Period.
Interesting. That's a good one. That's a good one. Comps. Anything else to add to that back there? The peanut gallery?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just like to try and keep it as simple as possible. As far as I like to be able to just pick up, one pistol and then have it shoot the same as another one I have. I've got a couple pretty nice guns. I've got an HK that's, a little bit more high speed, and a Zev that's compensated and it's got nice trigger upgrades and stuff like that. And I still like just shooting just the Glock just because I know that I can pick it up and know exactly what it's going to be like every time. I think there's something to be said for simplicity, but I'm also not running out and racing it all the time either, so just shooting it. So
yeah, comps. Interesting topic. Grip test. Hit the grip test. Once you can do the grip test, then, and I love, so pretty much every private session we do the grip test. So I do the grip test like 2-3 times a week, and it's always fun when you can we're right in front of the target, but where you can present the pistol and you're not even aiming, you're just shooting, and you just carve a hole in one magazine. And it's like, yeah, that's the standard,
Do you have a target for the grip test, or do you just just draw a circle?
Yep, because you're not even aiming down the sights, you just present.
Like that.
Yeah, I would say the size of the circle on a standard, when you're like 2 yards away or so when you do the grip test, that should be the minimum size group you should do. Usually we end up getting something a little bit tighter like that.
I would say too, grip completely changed my pistol shooting. Like tightening the grip.
Yeah.
A tighter grip. Like, it's way tighter than most people realize or try to do. I mean, you could see too, like people shoot and you see the recoil and you see it bouncing.
Yes.
That slide should be just for getting back pretty much.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you've got to grip that thing hard.
Yeah. It just hurts me. But it can be done. You can still shoot fast without a crazy rock solid grip like that, like we're advocates of. But I hate if I watch somebody shoot in slow motion and the pistol, like their offhand is here, and the pistol moves.
yeah.
I guess you could say not in combination with their hand. Like,
Right.
it's like, damn, they're clearly not clamping down. Now, can it be done? Yes, it can be done. And there's some super badass shooters that are all like kind of like let the pistol do its thing. I don't know. That's not my thing though, just because I just want full control of that bad boy.
So I have a question for you then, because
Okay.
so many people teach, it's 70% in
Oh,
your
perfect.
support hand,
Great question.
30% in your primary hand. For me, I actually shoot a lot better when I grip even harder with my primary. So I have a nice strong grip.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm 50-50, but I'm definitely not squeezing harder with my support.
Yeah.
And I feel like my recoil is way less when I really grip down, and I still feel like I have enough dexterity with my trigger finger.
Well, it's because you practice like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we tell people it's 100-100. Yep.
Yeah.
And then true 100-100, you'd probably be shaking. So it probably is in reality 95-95, but most people don't grip anything super tight, right?
Right.
So then saying 100-100 will push you just really to bear down on the pistol, but that takes practice to keep the trigger finger autonomous.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100-100 for sure. And especially if you use the pistol in real life, it's going to be 100-100. There's no doubt about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, and we're here. Yes, there's my buddy's trailer. Well, I guess we made it. A quick little truck check. All right, so yeah, back at the URC. We'll see you guys next time. Oh.